Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. This video is going to be a fun one, and by fun one, I mean I'm going to have to go and pray to the Lord above to make sure I don't go and somehow upset the entirety of the YouTube community. Now, there's been a bit of a big controversial one, so everyone go lock on it, and of course, please, out of respect out of me, be a little bit nice in the comment section down below to me, other people, whatever it might be, because we're going to get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty, you know, the woke versus the wokeness, and all of that throughout this video, and I'm going to try my best to not go and step on any toes, and hopefully, as you guys watch this video, I'm gonna try my best to mean well on both ends. All right, so don't leave me too many hate comments if you guys can, and of course if any of you guys get little discussions down below, just make sure you guys are very tame and respectful, all that. But as of right now, there's been some pretty big PlayStation drama. As you guys probably know, there's been a pretty brand new game over here from Naughty Dog, which obviously Naughty Dog is a pretty beloved game studio out there, called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. I talked about this in the earlier day video. You guys may have seen on the Game of the Year Awards. I'll probably show the gameplay trailer and announcement trailer maybe once or twice in the background, just for all the ADHD folks out there who just want to look at something throughout this video. And right now, the internet is definitely going back and forth. We got the ASMONGOLD, we got the hot takes, we got everyone else back and forth, and for some odd reason, there's been a big push both on this brand new PlayStation 5 game and as well The Witcher 4 series. And while the internet's just not happy with having the female protagonist, quote-unquote ugly characters, or the big idea of uglification, people's trying to say that some of these games are appealing too much to the woke end. And like I said, this might be the video that ends my career. Now, that's obviously a joke. I think a lot of people who watch my channel are usually pretty well versed and not stupid. Thankfully, I actually have a very cool YouTube audience, so thank you guys for watching. And of course, I don't think any of my takes are usually that off the wall on either end. Just for the sake of how I am as a person, I'm just very right down the middle. I can see people going taking things way too far on one end. I can see people taking one thing too far on the other end. I can see it, bro. I get the vibe, but doesn't mean I always agree with the vibe when it goes a little bit too far this way. So let's go and try our best to not get canceled the best we can, and let's go talk about this throughout this video. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for our PS5 Pro giveaway. Make sure you guys check out the affiliate links down below and our Twitch, YouTube, and stuff if you just want the bonus giveaway entries, and let's go dive on into it. So if you guys have missed this, as I kind of maybe try to give the premise of this, there's a brand new game that came out. It's called the Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet over here, and I showed this on an earlier video earlier on today if you guys missed it, and I thought the game itself did seem intriguing. I'm going to try to give you guys the big highlights of this one and show some tweets and overall community vibes. But a big picture of this is that there is a subsection of folks out there kind of think ASMONGOLD. I almost feel like I should show up his tweet too as well, where people are basically saying this game right here that's being shown is going to be woke garbage that no one's going to want to buy. They don't like the main character. They don't think they have to go and shovel in female characters into every single game. And at the end of the day, people are like, this game's going to be trash, garbage. They're not going to buy it. And they think this game overall is going to be a very mediocre game. Now, when I was going and doing the co-stream up on Twitch, and actually did it on my second YouTube account, which is kind of just a comfy stream overall on the YouTube side, but overall, I think most people were like 80% whatever, and then some people are like, yeah, it's probably not my cup of tea. So, high level of this, I want to give you guys my initial thoughts. This might be the hot take, might get canceled, who knows? I'm one of those people, I don't really care what the main characters are, but I want to make sure the gameplay is good. You can give me the ugliest looking, strangest looking, you can give me some lesbians, whatever the hell it might be, I don't care if the game is good. And that is the main thing for me. And I've actually discussed this a little bit on my Twitch stream, which is kind of an intriguing demographic. I actually have quite a few people, just of all walks of life, when it comes to my Twitch stream. Republicans, Democrats, lesbians, whatever it might be, people go hang out on my stream nonetheless. So I feel like I have a pretty good gauge of what every single side's trying to say. My high level, and this is what I want you guys to take away from my opinions on the game, and maybe this is what I'd want to hear your thoughts on down below, unless you guys are bored or want to do some crazy YouTube fights down below. Just make sure you guys are nice. But my idea is, I really, like I said, I don't care if a character is gay, man, girl, whatever. Bro, as long as the game is good, I don't care. Because I've actually generally played good games with gay characters. Don't care. I've had a lot of games throughout my life. Random dudes, like the generic white dude or whatever. I'm cool with it. It's fine. If the game is good. And I've actually talked to both ends. I've actually literally had, I unironically can go and bring up some, my lesbian moderator dude I have in my YouTube Twitch chat. I'm not some woke guy over here being oh my God, I'm just a generic white dude who just plays video games and talks about it. But I think collectively, high level, most people would agree. If the game sucks, The game sucks. No beating around the bush. And there's a weird like prerogative to kind of go on like, gotta give the little bit of the anti-woke side over there, is that sometimes games try to go enforce certain agendas, and I think that's the biggest issue for a lot of folks. If a game is just not a fun game, not a fun demographic, they're trying too hard to go force this for like say like a romance story or whatever it might be, then the game is bad. But the part two of this is because even say for movies, TV shows, other video games, I would say the same exact opinion if it's a guy and girl character with a forced romance that doesn't add anything to the story, or it's just cringe, badly written, whatever it might be. Guy to guy, girl to girl, guy and girl, I would say that same opinion no matter what. The game is probably just garbage and it's a forced romance, because it can go on both ends, dude. Like, you can go and have that on both ends. And I feel like I brought this up in my Twitch stream before, and people kind of agree. It's like, hey, the game itself, if it's just badly written, poorly designed, the gameplay sucks. The game itself is bad. I don't care what the characters are. It would be the same thing with different characters, interchangeable. If the game sucks, the game sucks. And that is, I think, a little bit not to be like on that, oh my god, this scrubbing guy is woke, because I don't care, dude. I'm straight down the middle. I don't care at all. But when it comes to the idea behind that is that if the game sucks, the game sucks. That's how it is. And obviously, if you try to go enforce different types of demographics or try to go push agendas or whatever it might be, if it's done poorly, and some games do it poorly. I'm going to be honest, Concord. And I think a lot of people, no matter what you would think, they did that game very, very poorly. The game itself, the characters weren't fun. They weren't like enticing. There was no lore behind it. It was kind of just a garbage game. And if someone want to call that was like that DEI or whatever, although I hate these random words out there, I can understand it. I get the vibe of it. You know, I understand that was just a trash game. But I will go and say something like, say, The Last of Us Part 2. I thought that game was chill. Like, I did not have any issues with the game at all. It was a good game, good gameplay itself. The graphics were nice, and it was a fun game to go and play. Some people may disagree, whatever. I don't really mind. This is my opinion. I didn't mind playing the game. I thought it was a good story, and it didn't necessarily shove things down my throat that I didn't want to go and see. And that's maybe a hot take. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But apparently people online are all over the place, because right now it says, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the market for masculine, non-conventionally attractive female leads in games isn't as big as the video game industry thinks it is. And I'll be honest with you, my dudes. I'll be honest with you, there is a possibility for this actually being although it's ASMONGOLD on his own take, somewhat valid. And I'm going to use, once again, the Concord excuse as an example. It is true, if the characters aren't looking cool and they're not looking vibey, like, I don't want to go play as some random 500-pound random, like, futuristic space woman. Do I have anything against that in real life? Absolutely not. I don't care, bro. If the game is fun, the game is fun. But sometimes the character design was just lame. It was weird. It's like, who is this even trying to be marketed towards? But at the same time, too, as well, I don't necessarily think this character is a bad character. I don't think it's not a bad character design. It looks relatively normal for me, and if the game is a fun game, bro, I don't mind. Like, think like Space Marines or people in actual real-life Marines. You're gonna go and shave your head, but like bald and stuff, it's whatever, it's fine. And there's also a lot of women out there who don't necessarily mind having female characters, but I mean, if I gotta be playing a game, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Stellar Blade, I did see some good booty, and if I can see some good booty in a video game that's not taken away from the game itself and game design, hey, I'm all for it. Dude, I thought Stellar Blade was one of the best games I've ever seen. It's kind of crazy too, because people were critiquing that of like the sexualization of women when a woman character, like person herself, was making these character models. And I'll be honest, Stellar Blade was a pretty good game. Good graphics, good game design, and I was into it. But that goes on both ends. The game itself, if that was a purely like a gacha-based game with horrible gameplay, I wouldn't have liked the game. I would have insulted the game. I don't care on how like the booties look, like a Nick K, which is like that mobile game with just big bouncy booties. I don't think I would necessarily even like that game, because the game itself was kind of boring gameplay-wise. I'm not just into that. I just want to have a good game. Stellar Blade, though, had a phenomenal gameplay. And now, obviously, I'm not going to judge this game off the characters, but a lot of people have been. People are now actually going and calling out that there's actually the game itself disabling the comments on the trailer. And apparently a lot of people just don't like it. Now, once again, I want to see gameplay. I want to see the game itself. If the gameplay sucks, then I'm not going to like the game. End all be all. If the gameplay's dope, I don't really care what the main character is or what they're doing, as long as it's not badly written. And I think the big issue is not necessarily about like the wokeness or the DI or whatever, which maybe I can see the idea behind it if it's just pushed a little too hard. I know those are like kind of more political trigger words. I just think the idea behind is that if the game is good, I'm going to like the game. And that's all it should be. And some people are in this both spectrums, basically saying some people are like grifters out here, saying this game was calling people ugly from Siri. And that was got a big drama from both these characters too. And I would probably say, once again, if the gameplay is dope, I'm down. Although the Siri issue wasn't as big. So I think Ciri is actually a pretty beloved character from The Witcher 3, and I'm pretty excited for Witcher 4. Now, once again, though, that's because I have the basis already from CD Projekt Red, and I know their games are usually pretty solid. But on the reverse side, I don't know anything about this game, but I have played Naughty Dog games before, and I don't think it was necessarily that bad of an issue. Like, even if there is, like, say, like a lesbian character, which there was. I don't think it really took away from the game too much. It kind of added a little bit of like, you're in this post-apocalyptic world and like, it's like you're alone and you're still trying to find and make like the normalcy of the world. Like I thought it kind of fit. Maybe some people can say the opposite, maybe not, but I thought it was fun. I thought it kind of fit the game genre. But as well, just how a character looks isn't always going to be the defining factor of a game, because there are some people who will just not buy this game. Straight up, they'll think it's some PlayStation woke garbage. And once again, if the game sucks, I'm not going to buy it. If the gameplay itself is poorly designed and they're trying to go focus on things that are not important, I'm not going to buy it. But once again, if the gameplay is good and the game itself is like well designed, good graphics, and something I'm intrigued on, unique world, good storytelling, good gameplay, whatever it might be, I'm gonna buy it. I don't really care what the characters are at the end of the day. I just want to go buy the game itself as a whole. And this is where things are kind of going all over the place too as well. This is not what I want to show. This is a random tweet I had over here from Robert De Niro. But like, I don't know, just some people are saying like this is not what people want. And I'll be honest with you guys, it really is all over the place. Because even on ASMONGOLD's tweet himself, dude, it is all over the place. Some people over here are basically like saying like some even women were trying to come out here too as well and go and say. And there's also some things I think they're also in my same point too as well, saying like they don't really care. Like some people don't care. Some people just want to make sure the game is all good, dude. And this is what I'm kind of with this barbecue penguin guy saying, if the game is a great game, do we really care who or what the main character is? That's kind of my take. I'll be honest. Although, if you look on their tweet, there's 10 responses, one favorite, like who golly knows was over there too as well. And then some people are being like, hey, let's go make this character ugly and we'll have no good sales on top of that though too as well. But this is kind of a big comment. Like some people are like, what if the gameplay is good? Are we still going to care about the human physical traits? And that's why it's very, I don't know, I'm curious on the thoughts. Some people are saying like it's just not very appealing. They don't even think that women even like it. And they just want to have confident characters. It's all over the place too as well. It really is all over the place. There's been some women who say they're looking forward to the game. Some people don't care about the game. Here is ASMONGOLD. It's kind of funny at the end of the day. I don't know. I think, like I said, my high level for all this is if the game is good and the story is good and it doesn't feel like things are being forced down my throat and that I have to go and sit through this, or I think it's cringe, or I think it's like boring or whatever it might be, I'll play any game out there. But if they do make the writing bad, or they have to go on some random weird 3-hour-long side mission about me trying to go and find my wife or whatever it might be in this game, I'm going to think it's boring. I think it's going to be lame. I think that's poorly written and takes away from the fun action gameplay elements. But at the same time, I would say that same thing if it was a guy to his wife, a girl and a girl, a guy and a guy, whatever it might be. I just think it's just a bad game. I think it's just poorly written. I think it's bad game design, bad level design. So at the end of the day, I don't think I necessarily care about what they are, who they are, what they want to be. But I do also want to say too that like I think there's a good balance. Like something like Ciri was a good example. She like the trailer looked good. She's this rugged woman, you know, trying to go and like probably most likely transition to a Witcher. Transition might be a hard word to go through on this type of video, you know what I mean? But when it comes to this stuff, that's not what they're trying to go do. It's like a woman who's out there fighting monsters. Like they don't have to necessarily be the most pretty character out there known to man. And some games get that vibe. Some games don't. And that's why I think it's kind of a controversial opinion, because people can kind of go either way. Now, hopefully my take wasn't bad. I do think it's a little bit on the middle side, and sometimes making a video like this is a little bit on the harder side to go and talk about, because some people are very against this type of style and very against how games are going and very against things like Concord, etc. And then some people also kind of like the inclusivity and they like the idea of having female characters. And I know a lot of female like content creators and streamers who enjoy those types of games. Like an Infinity Nikki was a game about like women gotcha trying to get different types of dresses and like raise horses and like a Stardew Valley. And there is sometimes different demographics that aren't always meant for the random standard, just me, generic white dude, whatever it might be. Some games are okay with that. Some games you want to play that Elden Ring or that World of Warcraft and you're going hardcore. And then some games you want to play Stardew Valley and go and raise like a random farm and play with your girlfriend. I don't know. There's a big difference between the two. And I think I'm one of those people that as long as the game is good, I'll play either or. But if it's trying to go shove down things down my throat that I don't necessarily approve of, at the end of the day, whether it's bad writing or bad character design or bad whatever it might be, it can kind of go both ways. So high level this one, so I don't get canceled. If the game is good, I'll go and play it. If people don't necessarily like the character design or whatever it might be, or it doesn't fit their actual prerogative, at the end of the day, they're probably not going to buy it. They're probably not going to enjoy it. And if for some odd reason people like that inclusive and like that inclusivity, then they're going to probably maybe enjoy it and buy it. But it really is that big high level, which is kind of takes a maturity factor for people watching this video to determine where is that line? Like, where is it drawn? Like, it's okay to have other people, whether it's black people, Asian people, lesbians, whatever it might be, you know, someone in that guard, or just having the generic white character. I'm a generic white dude. I don't mind playing a generic white dude. I'm cool with it. You give me a game like a Stellar Blade with some big booties, I'm kind of secretly into that dude. I'm kind of liking that. But at the end of the day, I don't really necessarily know. And it kind of seems like there's a weird line over here on both spectrums, and I'm kind of curious on what you guys think. Is this character, I know it's ASMONGOLD's face, which is kind of funny, is this character itself like too ugly that would turn you off from the game? Is it a bad vibe? Do you just think necessarily, is there too much wokeness, I guess, involved? Or is it one of those things, kind of what I'm saying, and hopefully a lot of you guys agree with me. If not, I'd like to hear the comments down below, and hopefully I don't end my YouTube career. Was I'm on the same mindset of, if the game is good, I'm down to play the game. And if the game is designed well, written well, I'm down to play it. But like I said, the internet's been kind of back and forth, and you have the ASMONGOLDs giving their hot takes. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below too as well. Are you looking for these games? I myself want to see the gameplay first and foremost before I do any major judgments. And obviously The Witcher 3 was one of my more favorite games out there. Like, my dude, I'm probably pretty hyped up for that one no matter what people go and say and think. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are chilling in the YouTube comment section. If I failed, feel free to let me know too as well if I said anything wrong or whatever. I appreciate y'all so much for watching in the first place.